Oh, KT, I found it, by the way. I tore my office apart. It was in my drawer the entire time.
Oh my god. It's back!
Alright, don't forget your fate points are back. Won't be serious business. I'm not even gonna do any sort of BIP thing right now.
No
Just-
gangster bib?
No, not this is.
Okay.
Out of respect for you, I'm not gonna do a gangster BIP this session.
Thank you. I
Gangster
appreciate
Biff
that.
just saw him with a pistol.
He's supporting his mom.
He's got like the shades, the bandana, couple gold chains.
No, he's upside down, don't forget.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Alright.
Lisha, your daggers, are they in hand or are they still in sheets? Baby. Your daggers, are they out or are they still in sheets? Okay, so you killed them in the sheets? Okay. I don't know if you had pulled them.
No, we got like
Stream is
nipped up in a
good.
trap.
Audio is good.
But potentially got diffused relatively quickly, so I don't think anyone actually pulled anything.
I mean, to be fair, I did crack a couple fart jokes with that one.
Yeah, yeah. Which was enough of a threat. He let us down. Good job. I mean, he's been away for a while. His dad joke game is probably pretty weak.
It's like his pullout game.
Oh my god. I wasn't an accident, excuse me? Jesus.
Comment today.
I was gonna say, I may have been an accident in real life, but my character
Hey.
wasn't, okay?
Oh god.
It's all right. While we're on this, are we streaming?
We are streaming.
Okay, good.
Hello, world.
While we're on the subject, I don't have any tattoos, but I was thinking about getting one that says "Made in France" because that's where I was conceived, apparently.
I think it's funny if it's a stamp on like your ass cheek.
Yeah.
Like you're like a foreign cheese or something.
Bonjour.
Oh my god.
Bonjour, 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 bonjour. All right.
Charged my headphones, but they apparently do not consider themselves charged. So here we go. Now we got a wire.
What a lame-o.
He's wearing a wire.
Lame.
2319. 2319.
2319. I just gotta post to one more channel, and then
Hydrate up! The fuck?
I said all channel points are not up right today.
Fuck you! This is my arc! Put it up!
Hydrate for the homies, Mark. Be a hydro
No.
homie. Come on.
No channel points tonight.
He's refusing.
Be a hydro homie. Come on.
Yeah, Hydro, homie.
Yeah.
Fine, since it's your arc. I'll put Hydrate back
Wow,
on.
you're actually giving in? Whoa!
Speaking of hydrate, I don't know why I feel the need.
Alright, fuck it, I'll take away Hydrate. Alright. Just because
So-
it's ass.
Drinking a
Mark.
screwdriver tonight in honor of a fallen friend. Actually, it was his birthday yesterday.
Raise a glass.
Holding out for Scott.
Alright, let's go live.
I thought we
Let's-
were before.
Well, we are live, but like, let's
Oh.
We've been
change
leaving
up to
live,
live.
like 3 times.
Okay.
Fix that. There we go. Yep.
Oh, you gotta make sure to mute.
There we go. Now my camera is active. All right.
Oh, that's
Hello,
right.
hello, hello. Welcome to the Arcadian Campaign, a Fate Core tabletop set in the world of Skies of Arcadia, where our cast and crew sail the skies of Arcadia itself, different denizen moons, in a steampunk Victorian era fashion, where they are sky pirates, mercenaries, vagabonds, searching for treasure, unknown, and at the very least, adventure. Our cast and crew, the crew of the illustrious Pao Long, have embarked on many a quest, going through many of the different denizen moons and their regions, from Nasrad to the Ixa Plains, to the Isle of Souls, as well as now Glacia, and among the Dark Rift and other locations that they are still going to venture either yet again or to come. Thank you guys for being part of tonight's Arcadia. It's a very special episode of the Arcadian campaign. Episode 68, The Sins of the Father, where our cast and crew have ventured throughout much of Arcadia itself, coming together, banding underneath the flags that they sail now, in search of answers for their past, different personal causes, whether it be to fight in the war of Valua and Nasrad, as well as personal goals, finding lost family, getting vengeance, revenge, to finding a father. They have done so as of last session. Let's get into a bit of introduction before we get into more of our recap. Starting with Mordecai.
Hey everyone, hello again. I'm Tillin. I play Mordecai Talark, the Sundered Spear from Nasir, benevolent engineer. A lot of the ear sounds. Yeah, just trying to help out the crew, help out the bros, and interested to see how this encounter plays out, because this is gonna be a much more different family affair than what Mordecai's used to, I think.
Perfect. Up next, Dalashi.
Wrong order.
Wrong order. Up next, Lisha.
Hi, I'm young Lionheart, playing Laisha once again this round. Cat like wit like knives, I am just here as backup. Can't wait to see what happens.
Next up, Dalashi.
Hi, I'm KT. I play Dalashi. You know, I've said the same thing for a very long time, but now it's very different. You know, she has found her father, and we're going to see where things go. You know, she uses ice magic and a whip that was passed down to her.
Next up, last but not least, our Rootin' Tootin'.
Hey there, Darku here. I play Frost. I don't do it with my hands now. Dalashi changed her intro. We're in for a round of surprises, so let's get into it.
We'll have a new intro soon. Just gotta see how this goes.
To give us a quick recap from before, I will give a recap, but I would also like a recap from Dalashi after I am done.
Okay.
Because I want to recap from your perspective as we lead into your scene. Last we left our crew, they adventured more into the lost regions of the lands of ice, going through the different caverns and terrains, decked with a spiritual essence of sorts, an energy that whips and whirs, keeping the land in an eternal frost that is inviting to the touch and not a bite of chilling and deathly cold. However, while there are monsters and even some machinations that storm about the echoed halls through processes derived from our wayward adventurers, they found different panels, different sigils, different markings that allowed them access and entryway into different abilities and different protocols for Glacia, a land long lost to time and only known to its few survivors. Those of an old clan and those who still keep up lost traditions. After activating some lost technology, our crew had finally found and reunited with Ulrid Barlow, Belashi's father. Belashi, please give your account of last session.
I'm really just gonna touch on some main points.
Please do.
So, the technology that we found was pretty much a supercomputer. And after messing around with it, I was registered into the program since my father was already there. And that sort of did a big reveal of itself that, my character is female, and it showed her real name. And then before, anybody could really ask anything about that, before we could really process it, we followed the trail that the computer gave us and ended up getting into a trap. And then that is how the faithful meeting happened. And then there were some butt jokes and fart jokes made. But we ended on kind of a happy slash bit angsty of a reunion. Yeah.
Very true. Anything left to add on?
Nope.
With that, we go right into the reunion between Belashi and her father. After cutting you all free from the simple yet effective trap that he laid before you, stunned silence and even more stunned surroundings, as the focus now comes to you and your father. I change the music. There we go.
Are you guys hearing the music at all when he adds it? Or is it just me that's not
I'll be
hearing
honest, I forgot to log into Foundry.
It'd be smart to log into Foundry.
it? Probably. You didn't have to out yourself. You could have just logged in real quick. Nobody would have noticed.
See, but then who would join me in laughter at myself?
Oh, so you want to be laughed at.
Loading.
No.
Please wait. I knew I was forgetting something. I was like, I'm missing a tab.
So yeah, is it just me that I'm not hearing anything?
It'll play in a second.
Well, it says it's playing, but I don't hear anything.
The bottom link, right? In
Yes.
general. Oh, what up, CJ?
There we go. Why is it not playing the right?
Oh, I got it.
Okay, there we go. Now it's playing the right one.
I like the overlay, by the way.
Thank you.
Stream.
Yeah.
Kelsey.
Oh god, I wasn't prepared for that. Sorry, go ahead.
Look, I can only start off with an apology. God, how long has it been? I feel like I haven't seen you in, what, years now? Or at least what feels like it.
been like 5 years, right, Mark?
For you, it has been about 3 approaching 4 years.
Okay. I knew it was between the 3 and the 5.
Yes.
Okay. It's been almost 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose an explanation is needed.
You suppose?
It's kind of hard to explain. Please. Sit. There's a lot we should probably talk about. You're all friends of my daughter. Please have some tea and sit. I don't know if you want to hear in the conversation, but
At this point, they've been fully invested in what's been going on in my life. All of us have been fully invested in each other's lives, so they can stay here.
all right. You're all welcome. Welcome to what's left of the old lands of Glacia. I guess I'm really one of the few that's keeping up the tradition, so may the snow comfort you.
Warm sands be with you.
Ah, an Assyrian. Pleasure.
Remains to be seen as I kind of like give Delashi like an eyebrow and a squint with the one eye. As I'm gonna like sit down to make sure I'm like giving them space to like do their thing, and like if they need to go somewhere private, then they have like space to do so. But I'm also popping out a flask and taking a swig and just passing it to Frost at this point.
Takes a swig, passes it back.
We're seated.
Alred proceeds. Oh. Alred proceeds to kind of stand in a bit of pace. Like, even though he suggests for you to sit, he doesn't necessarily sit himself. He looks to you, examines over the words in his mind, then paces a little bit, and then looks back to you to begin to speak more. Delcy, let me just say, leaving you, leaving your mother, leaving everyone else in the family, it wasn't so much as a choice as so much as it was my only option. As you hear him speak further, he has kind of like this overshirt as well as kind of like wooled knitted vest on, and he kind of like unbuttons it to showcase something. As he takes off kind of like the first 2 articles of clothing to just open up and reveal his shirt, you see that there is this large indent on not only his chest, but like his stomach area, where there is all sorts of scarring, purple, like torn damage. And although it looks like decayed skin, it seems like it's somewhat healed, somewhat kept in place through magic. It is hard to say, hard to grasp. Give me a lore check.
This is like visible through his shirt. Like,
The
He opened
moment
up his shirt.
the moment he opened up his shirt, he showcases this huge
oh, so
scar.
he's actively showing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh, You said notice?
Lore check.
Okay. So it's a 3.
You see it as a wound kept together through some form of magic. You don't know what. It is
Okay.
uncertain, and it looks to be... What's kind of going through your mind is a bit of shock and just wonder and just questions upon questions, as you know he looks okay, but there's something subtle and lying underneath.
Back many years ago, I was doing some work in the city. Your mother had long hoped that I would just focus more on efforts at home, bits that I could just, I don't know, do. I wanted to make sure that you and the rest of the family had a bit more cushion, a bit more something. So I took odd jobs here and there, little things to help us out, because, well, even though your mother and I found a life together, the life that I had before her was not one that I could easily bring with me. Not one that I could easily pass on to you. When I took some jobs out in the city side, it was something that should have been simple, something that I should have been ready for. Your old man's fought well enough. Your old man's trained you a time or two in the way of whips, magic, self-defense, what I could when you were a kid. I got careless. I was trying to hurry back, find my way as quick as possible. Thinking back on it now, maybe it was something that I had said to you or something that I had said to your mother. I just wanted to rush home, wanted to be with you both, be with everyone else. I met with an unfortunate accident at one of the cliff sides that led back over to our place. Before I knew it, I was careening down a cliff face. Instinct kicked in, and I was already ready. I was already looking to twist myself and cast a bit of a gust to get me back, at least to more of the rock and slope. And the moment I turned myself, I was impaled. Right through sternum, straight through my stomach. Fucking trees. Must have been like 16, 20 feet off the ground. Fucking piss poor way to go. I twisted and turned, trying to get myself upright, get myself to have that chance to just kind of right myself, instinct kicking in. And I get skewered. And as my body bleeding out, I looked around trying to scream, trying to hold on any semblance of breath that I had left. Felt my hands grow cold, felt my body slowly slump into numbness. Rain started pouring all over me. I didn't want to die. I didn't want to do anything but to get back to you and your mother. I screamed, I struggled, tried to think my way out of every possible conception as my back just screamed and writhed in pain. Adrenaline was the only thing that was keeping me conscious. I just felt every bit of arcane essence pour through my body, pour through those last fleeting moments of wishing for anything but that. I felt my body fall further and further, what I thought was down that tree. I remember saying, "No, I'm going to get up. I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep walking." Try to move my legs. Must have been damn near paralyzed from a rupture to my spine. I closed my eyes, barely even a second, trying to hold on, thinking maybe someone would hear me, someone would pick up whatever piece was left of me, and if I could only hold on to a breath to at least speak to you one last time, I would have. Next thing I know, I felt pulsing throughout my entire body. I felt the whole world around me shift and pull me. As I was screaming over and over and over again with breath I didn't even think I could take anymore. Thought my lungs had already collapsed. As I walked forward, I found myself in that familiar place inside the dark rift. I'd never told you growing up, even though I had taken you with me on a few trips when you were a kid, probably too young to remember. Our little camping ventures we wouldn't tell your mother. Our little secret, you and me. Arcadia is where I was once from. Arcadia was where I had left. Left it, went through the dark rift, found a new life for myself, found a new place, found your mother. I'd come back time and time again to visit your granduncle, Gorio,
Mhm.
to take you with me to show you things a little bit that I probably shouldn't have, but I wanted you to see. I wanted you to at least experience it, even if you were too young to remember. At some point in my near-death confusion, I must have cast that spell that took me back through the rift. Maybe it was a last-ditch effort. Maybe it was the tense grasps of life of a man on his deathbed. A man wishing to see you. As I walked through the dark rift, I tried to even place a hand. Going back to you. Going back to your mother. That gate that's over there. One with the sprawling trees. I don't know if you remember that. Big stone etchings of big cityscape and some runes. I think you even drew on there with chalk one time when I told you not to. The moment I put my hand even so much as an inch towards that door, I started to bleed. And then as I tried to push further, I could feel the air escaping my lungs, death slowly creeping up my spine, my legs slowly starting to not work again. I backed off as soon as I could, as I had the strength. The reason why your dad never returned. Your dad died that day. And I don't know if I'm a ghost, still walking, begging to see you for even a moment longer. But I've held this long, and
You see him, tears slowly starting to stream down his face. You see him wanting to raise a hand towards you and, like, just a little bit of comfort. And you see that there's fear welling up behind his eyes. You see that whether it's him not feeling like he has the right to say any more to you, whether he feels like he has the right to do anything more for you, you see him still trying, as there's wheels turning in the back of his head, trying to figure out better words to say to account for lost time, better gestures, whether it's a smile, whether it's just a bit of bravado, even a joke you might have laughed at when you were a kid.
I'm sorry your dad never came home.
So what have you been doing here then? And why didn't you try to send me anything? Why has it been nothing? You might not have come home, but you could have done something. All the times that you've traveled through the Dark Rift.
You don't
You could
think
have
I
figured out-
tried? You don't think I wanted every second that I missed with you? I wanted to push. I was at that gate over and over and over again. Bleeding time and time, saying, I can find her, I can see her, I can fucking raise my daughter. For a day, for a minute, for a second to hold you in my arms. I didn't know. I didn't know how to get back to you. Other than...
At this point, it's not even about getting back to me. It's just communication. And you talk about wanting to raise me. All of these things. You didn't. I had to raise myself. Once you were gone, I had to raise myself. And I found my way to you.
I know. And
You see your dad turn around and turn away from you, just holding his stomach, just clenching a fist tight. And you see it just get clenched tighter and tighter until he even draws blood from himself.
every method that I had to me, option to me, was gone. I spent months, maybe weeks, upon days, upon hours, as much as I could before starvation kicked in, and I probably would have died all over again. That rift. When I came here, I had barely anything, but what little was on me at the time. I didn't have a ship. I had knowledge, but I had nothing else. I barely made it out of the Dark Rift. Especially without a ship, I clung to sheer will to try to live as much as I could. Do you know?
You know, Dad, I had to do the same exact thing because I followed you. I had to do the same exact thing.
And
So right now, it just sounds like a bunch of excuses. Because I did the same thing. And I was a lot younger than you were.
You see him constantly pause and try to well up more courage to even face you. More ability to say anything. But in your mind, maybe it is all excuses. Maybe it's him trying to rationalize what he could do, what he couldn't do.
Delcy, I had hoped what was still there, what I had left for you.
Oh, yeah, the breadcrumbs?
It's all I could have done. I promise you, it's all I could have done.
I need you to understand that I get what happened, and it makes me very upset. And you could only do so much, but I'm going to be mad about this. I've been chasing you down for almost 4 years. I'm going to be mad about this, okay?
I didn't even know that you were here until 5 minutes ago.
This entire time you haven't known.
No. You haven't got the memo. Communication's not the easiest thing around here.
Well, if you are creative enough, it can be easy. If you have the will to do it, it can be easy. To me, it feels like you gave up.
I'm still alive, aren't I?
To what end? What have you been doing?
Trying to live and hope one day that I could see you. Trying to keep up what our family was supposed to keep doing. Come back here to make sure that some borders stay where they needed to stay.
So, you came here, built your life back up again, gave up on your old life, and just started doing what our family did again. And that's it.
What other choice did I have? All I had was to try here, to hope that maybe someday fate, will, divine intervention, whatever the damn moons please, to meddle in our affairs, whatever. I didn't know how to get back to you. I didn't know how to communicate with you. I don't have another family. I have your granduncle. That's because he's stranded here already.
Did I thank you for not making another family?
No, I'm not trying to... I'm just trying to say that I tried my damnedest. I don't know what more I could have done, aside from bleed out and leave you with nothing but a corpse at the Dark Rift.
A corpse would have been better than nothing.
Your dad goes sheet white and turns
So does
away from
Mordecai,
you.
by the way.
I told you I'm going to be upset about this. I'm glad you're alive, and I'm glad that I finally found you, but I'm going to be mad about this. You've missed so much of my life. I've had to live so much of my life on my own without you.
He says nothing as he just simply nods. Mordecai, give me a notice check, please.
Yeah, okay. Mordecai is also like sheet white, like holy shit. While this is going on, I have the thermal eye in if it matters.
It does not matter for this one, but a 5
Okay.
is fucking great enough.
Rad.
Uh, you, Mordecai, you see as you're looking about the area, just kind of like being like, fuck. And maybe it's just the tension, maybe it's just everything else. You're looking about and you see over in the corner of the room another journal, almost exactly like the one that Delcy has. But it's looks a lot newer. And that is all I will say on that one. Delcy, your father is, as I said, just turned away from you and nodding. He is defeated.
Is he still standing, or is he seated?
He's still standing.
Okay. She's gonna stand up and slowly walk over to him and hold out her hand.
Do you touch him or anything because his back is turned to you?
Didn't really. Okay, then yeah, I put a hand on his shoulder.
He kind of flinches and then slowly looks back and turns to you.
He doesn't say anything.
He doesn't know what else to say.
Okay. I'm sorry. That was cruel of me to say. It's been a really, really rough time without you. Without Mom, without you. I had to find my way to you. I had to build my own life here. That's been hard enough. And then when I finally find you, it's just been really hard. And I'm sorry that happened to you.
There's just slow and subtle tears welling in his eyes as he just tries to be as stoic as possible. And just subtly, a drop or two trails down his face.
Mark, I'm so sorry to break the tension here. I have a quick question.
What's your question, Mordecai?
I don't know how to phrase this without sounding like a dickhead, but
Wow.
using the thermal eye, does this man have a living person's body temperature, or is he cold as a corpse?
He's cold as a corpse.
Oh shit, okay. Is it like especially cold at like the wound, or is it just uniformly like this guy temperature wise is dead?
He looks about as low of a temperature as a human body can withstand.
Okay, so like barely alive.
Yes.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Interesting. Okay.
Like even Delcy, as you put a hand on his shoulder, because he has like the sleeveless, like you touch his skin and it is cold to the touch.
So he's just crying right now.
Yeah. Slowly, very slowly. Like, he wants to say, it's anything that he says right now is going to be just repeated words of
Mhm.
he didn't have a choice. He did what he could. He could only hope. Even a bit now. Roll me empathy. Is that your roll?
I'll use the fate point and make it a 6.
All right. Upon having that successful 6, you barely feel his body grow even colder, as there's a subtle will for himself that's kind of shattered at your words. And that will that he's held on to for so long is just kind of being broken away at.
Dad, are you gonna be able to deal with me still being mad about this?
I don't know what. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know anything right now. The only thing I know what I want is to try to do whatever I can to make amends.
Then just prove it to me. That's literally all you need to do. Just prove it to me.
He slowly points over in the direction that Mordecai noticed, and there's a journal, much like the one that you have waiting over on the table.
You-
Do you go
Go
over
ahead.
and walk over to it?
Well, does he say anything?
He points to it. He's trying to find more words, but he simply points to that journal.
Okay, yeah, I go over to it.
Go over to it, and written first in a bit of moonspeak, but also directly under it, there's the words written clear that you can read. For my sunshine. And written on it, as you open, you see that there's page after page of journal entries, of notes, of life lessons, of things he wishes he could teach you, of things he wishes, which every passing day that he wanted to experience with you. Whether he knew that he could experience it with you or not, whether he would die the next day, everything that is written with every passing page is written in the words of a man who could die tomorrow. Different places that he'd like to take you, different experiences that he wishes he could have with you. Taking you out on your own ship, painting it with you, maybe seeing you, actually walking you down the aisle, taking you to the moons, taking you to Nasra, to Yafutoma, to everywhere that he took you as a kid that you might not have known then, but he could have showed you with new eyes now. And at the end of every page written is, I'll hold on. I would like you to permanently increase your lore by another 1 right now
Okay.
with this journal. You keep reading, and as you're reading, you just hear the sound of your father sit back in a chair, kind of slump a bit, and take a few steady breaths.
How long have you been writing in this journal for?
Every day. I don't think I've stopped. I think there's actually even another journal somewhere around here as well. Tried to, and you even see that, like, it's a thick ass fucking journal.
Mm-hmm.
And there are even pages that seem like it ran out halfway through, and there's been more pages. Not so much haphazardly, but with some modicum of crafting ability that he's made more of a binder, more of a journal, and put this together himself. If all I was going to do was die on you,
Then I was at least going to do everything in my power to leave you whatever I could. I didn't think I'd die that day, so all I had left was what was there for you. But if somehow, some way you made your way here, I'd at least make sure damn well enough and good that there'd be more for you here.
There's like a shift in her demeanor, and she just like walks over to him and hugs him.
I would like you to roll me empathy, please.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Alrighty.
Can I set a scene real quick? I'm sorry.
Sure. What would you like to
Uh,
set a scene for? That 6 is pretty well and damn good enough.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Just going forward for any future roles for Delashi concerning her father, can I set the scene of "We've got your back"?
All right. You set the scene and you make your presence kind of felt through experiences of your own, through the resolve and want to help your companion here. They'll see you even take a side glance at your friends, and you see them there. You see them looking on with every bit of earnest concern. And maybe some tension-cutting faces.
If Delashi looks at me, I'm gonna give her the one-eyed wink. I'm just saying.
Mordecai special. You go to hug your father, and as you do, there's just more tears streaming down his face. He's not able to hold it back anymore. As he just, like, he immediately, like, wraps arms around you and is just holding you as tight as he could, as if you're the last thing that he'll ever feel. He holds on to you. And you feel him regain a slight sense of warmth.
She starts crying too, and all she says is, "I missed you."
I missed you every single day. I miss you and I love you. I love you so much.
And as he says that, he just buries, like, his head into your shoulder and just holds you tight.
I love you too, Dad. Like, I wouldn't have followed you all the way here. I wouldn't have done all of this. I wouldn't have tracked you down for 4 years.
So proud of you.
I'm so proud of. God, you look beautiful. My girl's grown up. I missed you growing up. I missed you getting tall. I missed you smacking around whoever causes you trouble. I missed you causing your mother whatever terror I know you probably caused her these past few years. I missed you. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. And he just breaks down further into your shoulder.
I'm sorry too, Dad. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry I said those things.
Oh. Thing you say, I deserve. I love you so much. I tried harder. I should have.
We're here now. So try now.
And, like, as he's saying, like, okay, shaky voice, like, such a rumble in his voice, like, almost like he's a scared kid now. He's like, what can I do? What can I do?
Well, first, I need to tell you something.
What is it? What do you need? What do you need help with? What can I do?
We'll get to what I need help with.
Do you want to introduce me to your friends? Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
yes.
I'm a sobbing mess. Oh, fuck.
Sorry.
So is Mordecai at this point. Mordecai's like,
Oh,
Sorry, yes.
fuck.
This has been my crew it's been a year, right?
It's been 7 months.
7 months, okay. This has
Okay.
been my crew for the past 7 months. This is Mordecai Talark. He's the Syrian.
He goes and grabs your hand, is like, pleasure, absolute pleasure.
I embrace him. I'm like,
He, like, gives you a hug as well. Okay, I just real quick, I have to ask, are you dating the guy or the girl or the other guy?
What?
Are you
No.
dating any of them? Okay.
No. No. That I may have I may have been disguising myself as a man. But we'll get to that.
We
That
just
did
figured out
not
she was
surprise me at all. And it's just
we
like,
just figured out she was a woman an hour ago, maybe.
Yeah.
and like he just laughs and like gives you a hug, Mordecai, and is like buried you in chest.
And this is Frost and Lisha. They're actually married, and they're a part of the Bane clan, which we work with. So yeah.
And like he continues to wipe more like tears from his eyes and like gets himself more composed and comes over and gives you, Ross, like a very firm handshake,
Oh, absolutely firm. Like as
like full forearm firm handshake. You feel it resonate there in a solid grip. And he goes over after that for Vrost over to Lisha. Lisha, you see him specifically put for more of a formal. You see him have an air of, I wouldn't say royalty, but of somewhat of a like lineage. Kind of put a forearm just over his heart, and kind of give you a respectful bow. Not knowing if you wanted a handshake, hug, or whatever, but it looks like he's open for either.
Lisha just kind of like tilts her heads and just kind of copies the motion unsuredly and
Thank you, moderator. And you get that greeting from him, and he picks himself up. He composes himself and goes back to addressing Delashi. Delashi?
Yes. So what would you say if I told you that I was undoing some of the work that you've been doing?
He looks a little with an eyebrow raised, and also like,
How so?
Remember, you're on thin ice.
yep. Yeah, and he just like, he just has hands raised up.
Well, before I really knew what you were doing with the sigils and things, I kind of messed around with them and undid them.
He looks at first like he's contemplating.
How many have you undone?
How many has it been like 3 or
You've
4?
undone 3.
Yeah, 3. I knew it was around that range.
Yeah, because you undid the one. Actually, I think it was 2. Because it was. I almost want to say it was 3. I'm pretty sure it was 2. It was definitely in the Temple of Ixa and the Temple of
Yes.
Pyron. Definitely
but
those
then
2.
I haven't done it in any other temple since then.
Yes.
Yeah, so it'd be 2.
And he looks like with a form of contemplation.
All right. If you've done that, then unfortunately you might have to undo the rest then. If you've gone that far already.
Why?
Those sigils were in place to keep the Black Moonstone and the Dark Rift separate from Arcadia. The Dark Rift is what happened when the Black Moonstone civilization chose to leave Arcadia when the Silver Moons rained down their destruction on the world. It was their way of escaping the conflict with the other moons. Glacia took it upon themselves to be sort of caretakers of what remained after the destruction.
Mhm.
It's kind of what's been passed down in our family.
Yes, that I was actually able to figure out.
Good, good.
So,
I don't know what will happen if the Black Moonstone civilization comes back to Arcadia. But all I know is that as long as the Dark Rift stays, then either it will keep pulling more things through by force or by choice, or putting things lost out to sea. Sky.
okay. So, more chaos.
Yeah. And if
More
two
instability.
sigils are already done, then I would assume the Dark Rift will get even more sporadic and chaotic, unless we undo them all.
And then, forgive me, what happens when we undo all of them?
We undo all of them, then the Black Moonstone civilization should come back to Arcadia. Now, I don't know if that will be for better or for worse. But I do
Okay.
know if the Black Moonstone civilization comes back, there will be more of an access to figure out how to get back home for the both of us.
We have to
They might-
figure out a way for you to be healed first, though.
They might bring you answers.
It might.
Also, when I went through the rift, I ended up with these. And I show my hands.
Ah. Yep. Yep. That seems about right. When magic that's not supposed to exist in Arcadia
Mm-hmm.
kind of comes through, takes on the form of those crystals. Uh,
He showcases himself with the same crystals on the backs of his hand that you have.
However, and he points to his head and then points to yours. How are those powers keeping in?
Oh. Non-existent right now.
He nods and figures.
Man, there's so much to catch you up on. As for the favor, for the help,
Name it. What can I do?
I don't know if you can help, because I don't know what limitations you have with the state that you're in, but so it would be for me and my crewmates.
All right.
We were put under a forced contract, a mental contract that we didn't agree to. We have built up some strength against it, but it is still very much there, and we have to fight against it, and it forces us to do things against our will.
He nods, and he's like,
All right. Frost, Mordecai, Lisha, everybody, come around.
I'm going
Oh,
to
gone
fix
over?
this.
Oh boy.
You can
Just
fix
like that?
this?
Yes. I'll
Will
fix
you
it.
be okay? That sounds like
Yeah.
quite a feat.
I will be. I've held on this long. I'll hold on longer.
You're not allowed to die on me now.
I have regarding that. I have a stupid question to ask.
And what's your
Uh,
stupid question, Mordecai?
Has anyone attempted to casting healing magic on this? Is it like a visible hole like through his chest? I can see the back of his shirt. Like,
It is.
Oh God.
So for those who watch My Hero, it's basically like a worse All Might puncture,
okay, okay, so
but more towards the center of his chest, like drop down just below the sternum, center of his chest.
okay,
That is like sprawling. It looked like someone casted Earthquake right in the center of his chest.
okay.
And there's like cracks. It looks like purple in some places, like it's already rotted over, decayed, but like it still has like flesh over it.
So it's not open, but it's not good.
Yeah, it looks purple as fuck, and
Okay.
not in the good way.
Have you had anyone attempt to heal this? We're not the most skilled healers, but we do have
Many
some.
times over.
Okay.
As much as I could go around, even Gregorio tried to pull some strings. From Valua researchers, anywhere from Ixa shamans. We've tried a bit all over.
I have a question for later about some of those Valuan researchers, but
No
okay,
problem.
so no help at all.
Not any that I've found.
Okay. No further questions at the moment. I apologize.
No, you're fine. It helps to ask these kind of questions. Nowhere that I found on this spitball of a planet that we got. I found.
He motions all of you to come over, and it's time for a father therapy session.
Oh, good lord.
Yes,
Oh,
suffer
no.
well. Suffer
no.
well. This has been a long time coming.
Oh no.
Yes. Good.
as Delcy's father, back of those moonstone covered hands glow, and there is already a large sigil that kind of expands and formulates 3 layers on top of itself, and then kind of hovers just above the ground and floats around you all. It's like, what do you know about having therapy sessions?
We are well versed.
I do them for everybody else, but I don't have them done to me, so.
Well,
This is a bit of a... It's your father's turn to teach you something.
so, finally.
God. Real quick, I'm
Yes.
gonna go pee.
All right,
Well,
if
well, we
anyone
start.
needs to use the bathroom, go right now. Stream is sponsored by a bathroom. Use it today. You probably need it.
Good practice. Good practice.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm going through some prior notes. I have more questions to ask this man if he doesn't fucking disappear in a cloud of dust.
No problem.
You're gonna drop that in out of context.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible.
I appreciate the anonymity of that. God damn it.
Yeah. Mark, if only you knew some of the fucking shenanigans.
What the fuck is that tiny ass chat?
Click on it and it should open it up and you'll
No,
see.
man.
Something somewhere was given that message.
Oh,
Oh boy.
oh my god. That's so bad. Oh man, this is why we have an out of context chat on the sidelines for a reason. Oh man. Quick shout out to the stream. Thank you guys all for being here for this session. We still have another half hour left. Seriously, this moment has been a bit time coming. We had our moment with Mordecai and his family reunion prior, which would be about the first quarter of our journey. This marks the second quarter, I would say, now that we finally have Delashi reunited with her father. And hey, Ross, Lisha, I'm looking at you two down the line.
You're next for the emotional damage.
Joke's on you, my family's dead.
Emotion.
I'm an
Jokes.
orphan.
Joke's on you both. You both have ties. I will find ways to pull heartstrings, and you have another character, Lisha.
We've already gone through that trauma. We've been like low-key discussing that trauma. That
We
trauma's
low-key discussed that trauma time and time after again.
Beaten like a dead horse, literally.
Oh man.
He hasn't even been there for the trauma. That is the thing. We have this big discovery. He wasn't even there for the
Gareth
trauma.
is the trauma. Gareth is
I think
trauma.
I'm more worried. I think I'm more worried about a Gareth reunion than Gareth is worried about a Gareth reunion because, like, even in like the fucking the Sandcastle beach episode, I was like, I got something to tell you, and I never did.
No, not in our beach episode. Jeez.
I'm wearing your dead
Keep
wife.
the trauma
from
away.
knees down.
Mark,
Like-
all I ask is that before we get into Ross's stuff, reach out to me. I have ideas I want to throw
definitely
your way.
will. Definitely.
Okay, I got ideas I want to throw your way, but we'll talk about it.
All right.
I got some special spice for you.
So, Delashi's father gives the good old Edward Elric Full Metal Alchemist hand claps as, boom, we get the sigils that encompass now the whole crew in this space in Glacia.
Full Metal Alchemist.
You
Full
all
Metal
see this biome that kind of covers you guys, where life just sprawls out in all directions, and it's much like a projected image of everything that you guys have experienced thus far. Everywhere from escaping Valua for Mordecai, Delashi, and Gareth to the adventures over in the plains of Ixa, to fighting Deloco, to rummaging through the lands of Nasrad, reconnecting with Mordecai's family, as it kind of plays once again in, as we've seen in previous therapies, as this whirlwind of time just evolves around you all and memories play out. Specifically, two memories play in big key events as we've gone through the rest of the cruise. What plays first is Delashi. Delashi's first memory before coming to Arcadia. As there is this Delashi just 6-7 months prior, maybe a bit before that, working what it appears to be in this lower section of a modern castle. Scrawlings and writings all over walls, etched over and over in sigils that Delcy never understood from her father, but was hoping, begging would work some sort of magic to reunite her with him. Eventually, something clicks as you just hear this woman scream and beat down and shout over and over again at a door frame. Get back here. Don't you dare leave. Don't you dare do this to me. Don't you do what he did. Don't you dare run out. This woman screaming again and again. Different words of belittlement and kind of guilt tripping that just, you see Delsey's face kind of riddled with tears, but like this anger and pain as carvings on walls get etched further and further, and eventually something just slams right into place and the whole space combusts and she's gone. And woken up, behind her is this large door with golden lining and trim as if it's lit up in a glow. And just subtle cries out to the darkness. Hello? Hello? That get scared for a moment and then get back to firm resolve. You just see her step through the darkness of the dark rift. As it goes from that scene, more time gets whirred and played around you all. As you shift over to a more tense, dramatic scene, gunfire being pounded over and over again, the sound of swords clanging, as it's now back to the Temple of Pyron. All of you fighting, members of the Bane clan and Arthur. As moments flicker back and forth, you all feel this sharp stabbing pain in your abdomen as you all feel and go from the perspective of Mordecai. As you all get lifted by a blade, a twinned blade on a gauntlet, jabbed up, thrusted into the air, and thrown back down. As there is an Arthur standing over Mordecai's wounded body. And an Eris subtly coming over. You now hear what she had said back then. As she says, Arthur, don't. If you kill them, what good will it do? What purpose does it serve to just end their lives? They got you here. They had everything here within the Temple of Rixus and Pyron. These are people who are worth a lot. Wouldn't it be better to keep them alive? As Arthur acknowledges and moves away, Eris kind of kneels down towards Mordecai's body.
Oh, man.
Yeah, y'all remember that scene where I got separated? Yeah, that sucked.
Well, you know, I got stabbed like 7 times and dragged away by Alex, so there's that.
Live for your revenge, Mordecai. Whether it's against me or someone bigger. Live for that revenge. You deserve more than this. And you see her, like, slowly cast Keep Mordecai Stable. As the perspective shifts and twists, it now goes over to Delashi, the next one who went down. As Bane clan member after Bane clan member drew sword and gun onto Delashi, as ice wall after ice wall is not enough to deflect any amount of blow that came again and again and again. Finally, enough of the shots just peg you down. As you see, there's an Alex reaching over and trying to save you as more Bane clan members come over to stop him. As Lisha, also over to the side as well, begins vehemently screaming with a rage as her Ifrit comes out and starts trying to grab whatever Bane clan member is close, grabbing and throwing them, just getting toppled with more and more pelts of gunfire and magic as Arthur comes over and gives a crush of some crystal or jewel that just resonates, and there's this sharp, tense pain that goes into Lisha's head, and you just see the Ifrit dissolve itself. She's still standing, still stumbling back, her and Vrost getting further and further, as Alex is like, we gotta get out of here, grabbing Lisha, as Vrost is like, get her out of here. Lisha now on top of, or over the shoulder of Alex, and Alex trying to do whatever he can to cast or manipulate the magics that get sent his way to pull Dalashi towards him, barely getting her over to a shoulder, looking over to Mordecai and trying to figure out what he could do. Vrost, guns out, boom, 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 trying to cover fire as they're retreating, escaping, leaving no other option as there is just pelt after pelt, wounds dripping with blood down from Vrost's side, legs, barely able to move, only off adrenaline alone. As Arthur and his members of the Bane clan slowly walk forward, bit by bit, Mordecai's brother, defeated and looking onward like his mind is shattered from these events, not knowing what to do, not having the resolve to do anything, being a coward in this moment, knowing he will fully regret it for the rest of his life. As the scene shifts, Vrost and Alex, along with the two that he's carrying on his shoulders, run as far and as fast as they can outward. As you see Vrost kind of hold up over into a corner, get frozen up against a wall, bloodied and dripping, Lisha screaming, being let me go, and not like wanting to leave him, as she kicks and hits Alex as he like stumbles and is trying to like hold on to what he can of both of them, as he's got a few fresh bullet wounds too. Lisha wiggles her way out of his grip and rushes over to Vrost, only to be frozen up to a wall herself alongside him, as they barely are able to touch. Alex runs, now with Dalashi in tow, as fast and as far as he can. The other members of the Bane clan fresh on their heels, further and further. Arthur comes through a side pass, squares up to Alex and says, you can drop her or become part of my experiment. I need your power to get to him. I need that oh so interesting ability of yours. Something that'll set me apart from the rest. I'm going to put your ability into my blade. It's the last thing you get to live to do. And you see Alex just grin and be like, fat chance and we'll see about that. I'm going to make life a living hell for you. If that's the last thing I do. And Alex is like, we'll fucking see. There is this battle that precedes them both as Alex is trying to fight with Dalashi on his shoulder, trying to keep her protected, but barely able to keep Arthur at bay. Eventually, more Bane clan members come, rush, beat down Alex as he goes down with you. A loud explosion over to the side ruptures part of the temple. And as it does, members of Bane Clan Del see Alex thrown over to the side. As Alice, the other Bane Clan member who was on your side, rushes in with some other members who were there to fight Arthur, uncertain of what to do, of who to grab, who to get, as you see Arthur has Dalashi in tow. She does what she can to grab Alex, and Alex is like screaming, being like, no, I can't leave them. And she's like, you have no choice. They rush out the temple, and you just see Arthur with the red crystal that controls the Gigas in tow as he commands it and wills it further. In a last-ditch effort as they make their escape, Alice and Alex, the Gigas' energy is turned in on itself. Alex uses all manner of strength, bleeding with whatever he can muster, to course its energy back at it and overload, shattering sections of its legs, bringing it back down into the sands. You just see a ship flying off in the distance, and Arthur staring back at Dalashi, holding her by her head and walking back to the rest of the other crew. Fine. If this delays things, then so be it. At least we'll make some use out of this. As you all feel immense pain and then release, you are now absolved from the contract. As you hear, all of you hear each of the other's contracts. If you could each go into your notes, please. Read to the others what your contract is, or what your section of the contract is. And once you've done so, you'll be absolved of it.
Oh shit, here we go again.
That's where it says specific to blank.
Yes.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
That's a really good question.
I can go first.
You got the floor.
Alright. Every time you end your day with any possible uses of your crystalline veil, you will be using it to spy on Lord Zivlin Bane and report all information of him to Nitok and or your stone. Any info on Black Moon magic, be it ability, enchantment, or otherwise, will also be top priority and reported in the same fashion. That's mine.
I guess I'll take next. I was in possession of the Crescent Horizon Key. Every day, I use this key to gain knowledge during my travels to help Arthur. Primary targets to use this key should be information on the head of the Bane clan, family Lord Bane, objects pertaining to Sylvites, and objects pertaining to the once great pirate Decat. Should you give this key to anyone of your party for other use, then you will give them this duty to perform for Arthur. Report all information, the attack, and or your stone.
Elisha, Mordecai.
I've got mine up. Let's see. Specific to Mordecai. Your brother will accompany you on future travels as the group's handler. You will be overprotective of his endeavors should others interfere, but also give him secrecy and space should he request. Should you find yourself in opportune moments with Lord Bane or other members of the Fox Guard of Bane Isle, you will work to ally yourself with them and act as a secret agent for Arthur, reporting any info to either your stone or Nidhogg. I think that's it.
And then for Elisha.
Your memories of Arthur and anything that relates to it have been sealed. You will carry a magic stone in your bag, which you cannot see, touch, or recognize until it's the right time. When the stone glows a particular color, you will go to an isolated area to receive instructions. You have no memory of this, and if you return to your senses, you will not think of it amiss that time has passed in the day. Should someone bring this matter to your attention or bring up discrepancies you would find strange, you will forget the conversation and matter entirely as soon as you are removed from that party once again and will not remember it again upon return. Alternatively, you will forget it every night as you sleep. Should anyone express their interest in harming Arthur, your highest priority is to kill, sabotage, or set them up for misfortune discreetly when possible. You will be the guys of the team, stepping in any situation. So the group recall or show signs of returning to normal, you will use all your abilities, power, and knowledge to terminate them. And I had 3 vials of Moonberry Concentrate. Yeah.
You now have 3 vials of Moon Concentrate that you can use outside of this ability.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Lisha was the enforcer to where
I'm not
she
done
could
yet. I
murder.
still got like 3 more sentences.
Oh, yep. Keep
Let me
going. Keep
finish.
going.
Should you leave the group, you will carry out acts of thievery in service of Arthur, making it a high priority to steal from Iris Bane and bring vault items in her care to either Nidhogg or Arthur. Nidhogg will be the group's handler. If you want to fight, yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Yep.
Jeez.
You each had specific missions.
Mm-hmm.
Now that it also has been revealed to what everyone has done, I need everyone to roll me 3 D100s.
Oh god.
We all cast wild magic.
Wait.
Sorry, is that a total of 3
Separate
D100? Okay.
D100s.
You can click it up. It's going to show the numbers for it rolls.
Yes.
Like mine's 46, 40, 76.
Yeah, if you could do roll 3 D100s, and then when you click on it, it shows you.
So /R space 3, the letter D, 100. Throw it in that bitch.
Yep.
Shake, shake, shake.
Oh god.
Ooh.
That was mine. Nice.
Mine didn't even get over 100. The fuck?
All right.
I
So,
don't even remember what my lucky numbers are. I'll be honest.
You can look in our group chat. It's in our group chat.
Frost, you were the luckiest one out of the bunch.
Yeah?
Yeah. For Delashi, we'll start with you.
Yeah.
There were 2 instances that you don't remember that you remember now of when you not only spied on Lord Bane, but also reported information over to Arthur
Oh shit.
that you don't remember before.
Okay.
The first instance that you remember spying on Lord Bane, you recall that he had a conversation or was looking through some in one he had a conversation with Iris, and the other he was looking over information in his private vault.
Okay.
Somewhere on the moons there is a stone sigil. Depending on which moon you go to, if you write someone's true name in the moons, you can permanently disconnect them from magic
Oh, holy shit.
within Arcadia. And now Arthur has this knowledge.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The the other time that you were spying on him was a conversation that he had with the kind of the spiritual guys who was a member of the old guard for the Bane clan, the one that you guys all saw with Gawain's spirit and passing him on. It was at this time he had made mention of knowing where Decat's treasure was, and was hoping that through working with her, potentially they could uncover some lost secrets. Finding his pirate isle just east and north of Nasrab.
Oh god, okay.
Next up, Mordecai. You are
What did I do?
you only have one instance that you can think of, or that you
remember.
that you remember. That you actually fought against pretty well, because you also rolled a 90. You and Lisha only had one moments. For you, Mordecai, it was very much in regards to buddying up to some of the Foxguard. It was actually Xena. You don't remember this, but you actually buddied up with her even more of the Foxguard.
Okay. She was the one who taught me about enchantment, right?
She did.
Okay. Just making sure.
Those enchantments specifically, with making vault weapons, she showed you a way to instill the vault weapon of someone who was lost into someone else. And that message has also been passed along to Arthur. So certain vault weapons can be replicated or doubled up onto certain weapons. Last but not least, Lisha. There was one time where you were on the Bane Isle that you actually went with Lady Iris into the vault. You found and were able to sneak away a replicator from the vault, one that was shown to the rest of the crew, and have stolen it away for Arthur. It's a Sylvite replicator. These memories resurface, and again, you are all healed. You are free from your contract.
Frost remembers nothing?
Frost got away pretty handedly, and honestly, truth be told, with how Frost has rolled almost every time where I've actually enacted a contract on him, this is actually pretty fitting.
Like a steel trap up here.
He was able to hold strong.
Mostly treasure and boobies.
It was very close because him and Lisha almost killed Piper, a member of the Bane clan.
Yeah, that was
Yo.
almost a day.
In cold blood, I was ready to write off a full NPC I had written down. A medic of the Bane clan.
Well, luckily that didn't happen. You know, the fires of revenge are very hard to douse. As one would say, there's a dead man walking. He just doesn't know it yet.
You all are healed. You have no more consequence for that. And Alred looks at you and is all, it's like,
it's a bit tough, but I think that went pretty well. Holy
shit.
hell, you guys have seen a lot.
I can see why you were considered one of the greatest purple magic users around. He tips his hat at him.
he doesn't have a hat to tip, but he kind of like shimmies a blade at his side towards you.
That may be the most polite I've ever seen him outside the Bane clan, so just that's high regard.
Honors taken in kind. I'm glad I can help.
It's taken care of. I know that Glacier is a pretty big place. You two, pointing to Delashi and her father, have a lot to catch up on. Unfortunately, there's a little pressing matter, so we might be able to tag team while you two were catching up. Two things. One, the Bane clan has me on a challenge right now. We're after to recover a weapon that's supposedly lost here. I happen to think it's either tied to y'all's computer as he waves his hand around. Might be around here somewhere. Might be in the Arc Whale. Might be the Purple Gigas. Who knows? There's a lot of information bouncing around. Speaking of, second thing.
Rocknum?
Yes.
Is
Possibly.
the Arc Whale the Purple Gigas?
Yes,
Ross
the Arc Whale
shrugs.
is the purple Gigas.
Okay.
Yeah, that Arc Whale is the Purple Gigas. Rocknum.
Okay. So, secondly,
So that's
where is it? There
Rocknum
might be a
comes and
crazy old man
goes, but
chasing after it.
Rocknum comes and goes, but he should be in the lower port decks. There's a glacial cavern that only he can go in and out of.
He's here. Oh, here.
Last I checked on the computers, yes, he should be.
All right. Well, looks like we've got to work our way down that way, and hopefully have a whale spit up a weapon.
Well,
Not too hard now, is it?
He did just say only. Sorry, what was the whale's name?
Rocknum.
Rocknum?
Yeah, Rocknum.
You say he only go down
RAHKNAM. Basically, TLDR, you guys can get to the Purple Gigas. However, he probably won't be spitting it up, and we will have a Monstro-esque dungeon crawl.
I kind of figured that would be the case. Rocknum, you said.
He
No, I know.
nods.
Per our previous exploration to two other temples, each gig is controlled by a stone. Does he have his own stone?
Yes, but it's kind of infused into him.
Okay, so there's no real way of controlling Rocknum.
It has its own free will.
Yes.
Effective.
Rocknum has its own free will and has ever since as long as it's been depicted. Its own will as determined by the old society.
Beautiful and terrifying. Is it not to put too little of a word on it? Is it intelligent? Can it speak? Can it reason? Can it make deals?
It can't really speak. It can make animal noises, but that's pretty much it. It understands somewhat, but it's kind of like trying to communicate with a dog. You get so much.
Yeah, I actually know a guy who's really good at that. I should
Oh,
know
do
two
you
guys
know?
who are good at that. Yeah.
So,
Did we bring him? Is he on the ship? Sorry, this is out of character.
Yeah, Barrel's on the ship.
Okay, we got the perfect guy from the job.
Beryl, Arsene, Shalu, and yeah, those are your extras on the ship.
we should probably bring the ship around to where we left it. We should probably have something that identifies us as friendly within this computer. And we should probably start exploring down that way. Delcy, I don't know what name you want to go by. I'm still kind
Call me
of
whatever.
processing this myself.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I'm really processing a lot of stuff right now. So
We're all
I would like
Yeah.
everyone to roll me a flat 0 roll, please.
so anything that we have a 0 in, you mean?
Anything that you have a 0 in.
The only thing
Oh!
I gotta zero in.
I'm going to
Oh.
choose provoke.
Oof. Oh man. Oh my god.
All right, Elisha. Elisha. You know, it hits you. It hits you like a bag of bricks. You guys all had contracts. Other people on your ship have contracts. It might be a wise idea to bring Alred to help rid those contracts.
We're leaving him behind? His ass is coming with us. What do you mean?
No, I know. He's coming with, but you make it
Okay.
more of you assert the understanding that you should probably do that.
We may or may not have more people you may need to do this
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
A question. How tied are you to this place? How able are you to move? Because I imagine if you had total mobility, you would have suck.
Do we need an icebox on the ship?
No. I can move. I've traveled a bit. I do come here to rest and recover sometimes. I feel stronger here, but
What?
Frost?
We have the shade still. Fuck.
Yes.
Yes,
Morgan, when we last top off the tank on gas.
it's fine.
Okay. Okay.
you still have about 4 days left of fuel on that.
Oh.
I thought about this. Oh yeah, we have all sorts of problems. It's been a while, right? I don't know if you're skilled at all in this. Ross, show the thing. I'm gonna show him the first emblazoned mark I got from the shade, not the new one.
You should show him the scar from me.
Oh yeah, this was from her, by the way. It'd be very proud, I think. But this is what I'm talking about here.
There's a star here. There's the other one like
Wait,
over
yeah, I have
here.
one now too, right?
Yeah, so
Yep.
show the relevant one. We have. It's been a while. It's fucking right. We have a balloon experiment on the ship that has been hunting us down. We managed to trap it by making some modifications to the ship. That's a purple magic based, so maybe we've kind of determined purple magic is this thing's weakness. So maybe you could do away with it once and for all, and that would be fucking amazing.
Or make it work for us.
Oh my gosh. Okay, can we worry about him first before we move on to the shade?
Well, I was going to go on to say, we do actually, I know you said you had healers look at you before, and Valuan researchers, which I have questions about. We do happen to have a skilled healer with us. New guest, I honestly forgot his name.
If you
but
think
yeah,
it's Shalu, we're not.
Shalu?
no,
No.
the guy
He's
with the healing lantern.
Oh, okay.
Arsene?
I was like,
Arson.
Yeah.
Shalu is not coming near my father
We're bringing your father to the ship.
with magic. God.
You
Oh
can
my
work
God.
out your own restraining orders there. I will help you as you see fit for me to help. But oh yeah, we have a bunch to catch you up on.
How about we walk and talk? Like, come on, let's get moving.
Yeah, I just wanted to know like if bringing you out to this room or its vicinity would harm you in any way.
No, I should be able to move and go about. At most that I think though, I might have to return here. I'll make sure I take my ship just in case that time comes.
Your own ship. Okay.
Can we tell that man's wife about where he's at now, so she can stop hunting us with her melty magic?
We don't
Rias.
know. I mean, we don't know where
There-
Alex is.
there
What do you
was-
mean?
We
He's on
do.
Bait Isle.
'Cause there was a specific moment
Oh
where
my
when he
God.
lifted it for
Yeah.
us, and then
Yeah.
came back. I know it's gone. That's there.
We
So
remember
can
all that, right?
Yeah, you remember all that now.
Oh
Now
my
you remember
God,
all
you're
that.
right. Oh my God,
Yeah,
you're
oh
right.
man, we could
Oh
stop
my God.
pretending to be. Oh hi, Minnie. We could stop pretending to be ignorant about stuff.
You are done with the contracts. You remember every memory that I've told you you don't remember.
Yeah, well, the problem is, I don't remember anyway.
But we remember.
God.
Remember, Frost, steel trap, treasure, boobies, and occasionally relevant facts.
Occasionally relevant facts.
There is an asterisk next to boobies because it is Lisha's boobies. She has real nice boobies, as he points to them.
So I've heard.
She has seduced many idiots with these titties.
So I've seen.
Have you seen my wife's titties?
No.
Cockskin.
Oh my god.
I've been in the area when she's flashed them.
Oh, okay, that's fair. She has her own free will.
Hard to miss. No offense.
Not taken.
Nice. Anyway. So yeah, so next time we bump into Rias, we have a bunch to discuss. Because I have to get this out of my system before we begin the walk and talk. Out of all these researchers, because you are on a Valuan list, by the way, do you recall the name DeLoco? Or someone referred to himself as the Good Doctor?
Yes. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Taller
See-
gentleman, lab coat.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. He took a name DeLoco, but DeLoco is actually the name of a short nightmare of a man.
Alright.
So he, the Good Doctor, we'll call him, the tall one. He saw you. He inspected you.
Yeah, yes. Looked over my wounds and they were very insistent that I stay, and I was very insistent that I go. It was thanks to Gregorio that I was able to get out of there with
They
not much
were.
issue. Valua.
You were in
Valua
Valua.
scientist, yes.
So, interesting.
Gregorio, my uncle. Oh, that makes him, yeah, his uncle.
Yes.
Yeah. So Gregorio is Alred's uncle. He's an old man, but he's still a up in military guy.
I just want to. This is out of context. This is Tillin speaking. Just going over private note channel.
Gotcha.
Project Vessel. Individuals who house powers or potential are researchers of Invlua, have studied the differences between individuals and showcase potential of magic and promise for technological study, for induction into our society by force or persuasion, currently ranked by immediate importance.
Correct.
There's Alex, Rias, someone named Renee Ikaruga,
Yep. Renee Ikaruga.
or Rena, excuse me. Was that
Ikaruga.
Gareth's wife? I forgot. I'm sorry.
It is not Gareth's wife,
Okay.
if I recall correctly.
I know she had a pretty name, but I forgot it. There's
She did.
Iris,
Yep.
Mordecai, Elisha, and then Alred.
Yes.
So Alred is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th on the list.
So, Alred explains why he's probably on that list, and it's the same power that Delashi has. When they cure people, it is not so much them curing people, it is so much so they are willing the body and the spirit back to a point in time where it has healed itself. So, the concept, if anyone's ever watched Bleach, it's kind of like Orihime's power.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically rewinds the wound instead of healing the wound.
Interesting.
And it's a specific ability that is within Delashi's bloodline. With her and her father. And it is also why her father is been here, and like her father, his father's father, and so on and so forth. Members of them have been here because they are able to reverse certain monsters and creatures within the Dark Rift, and using their power are able to keep it as a border rather than a chaotic mess that would just destroy everything else around it.
Interesting. Before we go too much farther, thank you, Alred.
Yeah,
Like,
thank
Tony
you
Alred,
for helping
thank you
us.
for that. That is
I'm
quite the weight off. That's
I'm glad I could help. Hopefully the first of many things I can do. Yes.
Circumstances aside, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
We have a bunch to go over.
With that said, we are at time.
Yeah.
So we will call tonight's session there. I will not leave you on a cliffhanger this time. As
It was
much
the
as I had one prepared. I'll
You
save it.
did?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But
course you
there's stuff to do, and I won't rush it.
Okay.
Good.
So, reunited with your father, Delcy, healed of your contracts, the crew, and a wealth of knowledge added to your group. More loose ends are going to work to be tied right now, as a few more pop up here and there. Things that you were already working towards with Arthur and everyone else in the Bane clan. And potentially resolving other issues in the background. Maybe the Undying Shade. Or other questions about Arcadia itself. These will be answered and more next time on the Arcadian Campaign. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the emotional ride. Thank you to my cast and crew. You guys have been absolutely wonderful and supportive in each other. And I love you all. And I will leave you off on a funny note of
emotional damage.
My God.
as we end tonight's Arcadian Campaign. Thank you guys. Here's Legacy signing out with the cast and crew. Till next time, we'll see you more than likely in the new year, as I think there's only one potential day in December that we can do. So, if not next month, Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays, whatever you're celebrating. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, happy everything else under the sun. I don't know people who celebrate Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and Christmas. If I know more people who celebrate other things, let me know in the chat, and I'll also give those a shout out.
Don't worry about it. You said the obligatory everything else, so everyone's included.